Hey folks, welcome to another edition of Faulkner Fixes All. I have not forgot about bicycles. I've just been extremely busy. So, yeah, let's get back to it because I don't want you guys saying what the Wednesday, Thursday Falk is going on. Yeah, we gotta do some things today. We gotta put the back brake cable on. Yeah, we got to lower this stem down to a safe level. We have to put a rear reflector on the fender. One of these little gems, so hard to find, not all smashed up. You can put it on without taking the back wheel off. It's a delicate touch, and we're so delicate here. And we have to switch this bolt back around. I will show you, and you will be amazed. If you're not, it's okay. Yeah, we had this bolt backwards because it was hitting that other freewheel, which was incorrect. Now that we have the correct 5-speed spoke protector and the correct Nervar, I think it's France, pretty sure it's probably Schwinn approved. Now that that's correct, hopefully we can switch this around and maybe the chain won't hit it. Or maybe it will. But let's do that last, so we look like we know we got it going on. Okay, let's get to it. To do this brake cable, we have to rob a few parts off of this old cable. Don't mind that frame that's all bundled up. We'll get to that. We'll get to that top secret stuff in a minute. Let's follow through. Too many pans in the fire right now. Anyway, this is off that Collegiate Girls parts bike, and we need these pieces, and we need this little ferrule here. I guess it's a cable stop or a ferrule, I don't know. Anyway, these are way superior to these little universal ones. Here's a universal one. That's the universal one, and this one, you know, Schwinn had a little ring. I don't know if you can see it. I'll try to point it out so you can see what's going on. This one doesn't have it, but they're just a better quality. This area here is machined better, and it fits in much better. Although you can't use one of these. You can't use one of these in there. So that's unfortunate, unless it's already in there. Like this one might be a 2-piecer. No, it's a 1-piece. So yeah, it's kind of, you can't use one of these little cable stop ends in there, but that's okay. You can in these universal ones, see? You can use it in the cheapy universal ones. So it's really your choice, whether you want to go non-Schwinn universal, or just get the right one off of an old Schwinn bike if you can find it. Anyway, we need this, and we need these off of this cable, and I'll show you why in just a moment. So let's pull this off. Now, girls' bikes, the cable, you know, on a girl's bike, it loops up to the back brake. And what happens is water gets in here. And these are always rusty. Like you find an old girl's bike, and you can just like crunch this piece around, and rust will blow out of this if we want to. So we'll get this piece off. Yeah, let's see how rusty it is. Rainwater went in there. So many years of rainwater. Yeah. And if we were to blow compressed air through this, yay! Not recommended. So yeah, these are always, when they're curled down like that on the girl's frame, always just throw this piece away. Whee! And we got these pieces. And the cable's pretty toast too. And then Schwinn got cheap, see? These longer ones, they kind of got cheap. These are the cheaper ones from the 70s. And this is probably early 60s, and it's just a little beefier. And you know, since we're not going racing, we're going to use these larger ones. Just because we will. Okay, so yeah, this cable was on a girl's bike, and it's definitely no good. Look at all the rust. And we want this piece now. Now, this front piece It's not too bad. You might save that. It's gray. And you could snip this cable and use it in the front, but this is the piece we want. We want that nice piece. Let's just snip the rusty part. Well, the whole thing is rusty. You know what? Let's just make that go away. That's a Schwinn cable! Okay, so we're going to get this universal, which is plenty long. And I've already pre-cut this gray stuff. So we're going to put the... Let's check and see if it's catching on the cable cuts I made. So we're going to put this on. It's on how it goes. Oops. And we're going to slide it down on the cable and kind of check to see if there's any sharp edges on there. I kind of poked around on there. It looks pretty good. Let's find out if it feels all right. Sometimes the feel is better than the look. Yeah. The feel is better than the look. That sounds kind of odd. Okay, so yeah, we got this, and it's sliding nicely. I don't feel it. I don't feel it like catching anywhere on a sharp edge. Actually, it is catching. It is catching on this back edge. So let's adjust that just a wee bit. We'll snip it off again, and hopefully it'll be a cleaner cut this time. And it wasn't. Okay. Poke this little compass in here. Someday I'll get a better cable cutter. Ah, that's better. Now I can feel that's better. It was kind of catching on a rough edge there. Okay, and then this goes on here, but we're not going to put that on yet because it'll just fall off. Or maybe it'll stay on. We got to grease it too. Okay, well, that's staying on pretty good. All right, let's grease this cable and put it in. We've got this other piece ready to go too. Let's go over here. Okay, we're doing pretty good, folks. We got to grease this. Yeah, hope everyone's doing good out there in YouTube land. Since I was complaining about the non-subscribers, I checked it again today, and it's actually gone up a 0.5% for non-subscribers watching the video. So it was 81%, and since I complained, it's now 81.5%. All right, thanks 5%ers for not subscribing. That's what I get for complaining, right? No one wants to hear that stuff. It's all happy-dappy around here. All right, let's get this greased up. We know that it's only going to be greased. It only needs to be greased. The front section about that much. So we'll start there. And we'll grease it up real good like. Yeah, Schwinn's 5-speeds are so awesome. You know, you really only need 3 or 5 speeds around town unless you're in the mountains. You know that? You only need 5 speeds. You don't really need 21 speeds. You don't really need 10 speeds, really. A decent low-geared 5-speed is really all the human body, in my opinion. Unless you're like some fitness freak. That's all the human body can really deal with. What are you saying? There's no need for the Schwinn 10-speed? Yeah, you change the front gear. You change the front gear to a smaller one on a 5-speed, and you can do almost everything a 10-speed does. You're never really in those top gears, unless you're in the salt flats or something. All right, we're going to pop this in here. You guys there? Good. Okay, we got this Schwinn approved. We got this Schwinn cable stop here. Bezel? Ferrule? Something. All right, and we got this piece. We know that's in there good. That's an actual Schwinn piece. And we're going to go around here and pop it in. And we'll clean off the excess right now. We know that this part, we know that this part doesn't need gobs of grease hanging off, you know. But we're going to grease this in a second. Let's get this other piece. Okay, here's the other ferrule. Yeah. Here's the other cable ferrule that goes on the frame. It goes in right here. And but first we're going to make sure that this gray piece I've already cut is feeling right and not binding up on anything like the other one was. So we're going to run it on here and kind of feel where it's going. That feels pretty good. And that feels pretty good. Okay, this one doesn't have any real super sharp edges. We are golden. Let's pop that out. Pop that on there. We'll grease up this part of the cable and put it in. Okay. Grease. Now we know we don't want to do the whole thing. We just want to do right here. We don't need grease right here. We don't need grease on this cable we're going to cut off. So we're just going to kind of go an inch ahead, a couple inches behind, and put some on there. And this goes towards the frame. Okay. And then we're just going to work it back and forth. Seems to be more grease there and less here. So let's put a little bit back here. That feels pretty good. Okay. Pop it through here. Okay. And get some of this excess off my hand. Dude. Couple snippers. Just for that occasion. Alright, so back out we go. Let's just kind of eyeball it this time. Why isn't that going in there? Oh, there we go. There's some schmutz on the frame. Oh, maybe that was it. Yeah, there was a little schmutz on the frame and that piece wasn't in. It's still kind of long. I think it should be about there. Alright, we're going to take about an inch off of this. Yeah, look at that. Look at that crap. It's way sharp. Dang it. Yeah. I gotta get a better pair of trimmers. These aren't the greatest. They were pretty sharp at first. And then they kind of went downhill. Okay, maybe that is enough. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's still kind of sharp there. I can feel it. I can feel it, Dave. Maybe a little bit more. Ah, there we go. Bear with me. We don't want any sharp, jagged stuff around here. It has to be smooth, like butter. Oh yeah, there we go. And while we're at it, we'll put a little extra on there because we were wiping all the grease off with that. And we don't want it to go away. So put some more on here. And up in we go. Good. So in this little ferrule, you know that's in there. Okay, now that's correct. Now that's not so crazy. It's not so bowed out where it's going to be causing a problem. Okay, so let's pop this back in. Okay, and a ferrule won't fit on there because it's Schwinn. I'll show you. I would put one of these on the cable right here, but this is Schwinn and it's tight. You could drill this, but why? You know, and it won't fit in that side either. So that's the way it is. All right, so this adjuster is about, you know, it's so you could go in if it's too tight, which it will be because the rim isn't that good. And let's use our 8 and 9 millimeter. But first, let's make sure this is in. That's in there. See, that was out a little bit. And make sure that's in there. Make sure that's in there. Then when you pull, these will tighten up, and that will get tight too. So pull hard. In fact, we'll get a better pair of pliers actually to really ump it. And make sure you don't have greasy hands when you pull it. All right, so we got our third hand in there. We know this is in. We know those are in. These two. That's in there. That's in there. Now we're going to pull pretty hard and make this right. I'm looking up at the front handle to make sure that piece went in where it's supposed to go. Before I really put the whammy on it, I'm going to double check. Okay. See, that's nice and tight now. Okay, let's put the whammy on this. The whammy. Okay, and we'll double check that one. That's good. Let's take the third brake hand off. But before we do that, let's snip this cable to length. Always leave a little extra. You might be changing this cable on another bike. You might put some high-rise bars on here. You know, you might change the whole system, the setup. You might put drop bars on. You might do something different. And you might need that extra, so you don't have to buy a new cable. So, you know, give yourself a little. You know, it's okay. You don't have to do it right there. All right, if we have a little aluminum end, we'll put it on. I don't think I have one right now. All right, let's take the third brake hand off. Always take this off. Remember to take this off. Don't just go pedaling on the bike with a third brake hand in there. Okay, so we got that. And it probably will be too tight because the rim is not that true, and we tightened the bejeebies out of that. But let's see if we can just unadjust this a little bit. Oh yeah, that's way too tight. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of crunch the cable and kind of seat it in a little bit. Oh, cables never stretch. Yes, they do. Cables stretch all the time. So we're going to kind of work it in a little bit. And see, that got loose already. And the wheel got loose. You see that? Cables do stretch even when they're new. They stretch. That's the way it is. Look, it's almost perfect. We don't have to adjust this. Well, we have to adjust the wheel. That's for sure. We have to true the wheel a little better. All right, so for now, we'll undo that and we'll bring this in a little bit until I can true the wheel to better specs. Okay. All right, there you go. We have back brakes. It's not perfect, but we have back brakes. All right, so let's bring these down to a safer level. We'll wipe that grease off too. Yeah, let's wipe that grease off. Yeah, how dare you get grease on your touched up sky blue wonder. Okay, we got to put this down to a safe level. We have to switch that bolt out in the back, and we have to put the reflector on. Yeah. Let's get the brass hammer just in case we have to whack it. It's fun to play whack-a-mole. Oh, it's pretty loose. Okay. Good. Yeah. Man, we're almost done with this bike. There we go. Okay, so we have hid this. See, there's a little mark right here where the date code is, and you're supposed to hide that. I mean, you're supposed to. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to hide that right there. There's a little tiny line right there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got to be safe. It's got to be in there more than it was. I mean, you can cheat a little bit, like I was saying earlier, but not much. You end up having some bad things happen. Okay, so let's straighten this out. And let's get the correct wrench, because this is actually, ooh, don't skip the frame. This is actually a 13 millimeter. I think we're okay though. Okay. All right. And the reason the bars are bouncing back to the middle is not because this is too tight, it's because I have this bungee on here. It's just I don't like stuff flopping around when I'm working on it. Okay, so that's down to a lower level. The back brake is on, there it is. Let's switch this bolt around to the correct way, run it through the gears, and make sure that it doesn't catch. Bear with me. Just trying to make it here. Okay. Now, hopefully, we can keep the snap washer on there, but the star washers are a little thinner. And we might just have to get a star washer because yeah, that might hit. Yeah, that's tight. It's gonna probably hit. I don't know. We'll see. That's gonna be close. We're gonna have to find a star washer, I think. Let's see. There's metal dust on the screwdriver. Oops, dang. Come on now. Okay, let's see if that hits. I have my doubts. Okay, you guys watch and I'll run it through the gears, okay? And you guys see if that hits that bolt. You guys tell me. I won't be able to see from here. It's close. Yeah, it's real close. See how close that is? I think with the star washer we'd be fine. It's close. Okay, well, note to self. Before I take the real test ride, I will replace this with a star washer. Okay, so what are we doing now? Oh, we got to put the reflector on. Yeah. And then we're going to kick this off to the side. Look at how true that back wheel is. That's fantastic. All right. Let's put the reflector on. Then we're going to kick it off the stand. And we're going to put this mystery bike on. Yes, I know I have not finished the copper tone varsity from 65. Hey, I've been busy. But we are jumping around. Okay, so to put this on without taking the back wheel off, you get this little fastener like that, okay? And you hold it. You hold it up in there. And you can see the hole right there. So in we go. And you don't let go of that little fastener. You just, no matter what, even if you have to back it out a little to catch the threads, you don't let go of that. Especially if you're in some dirty old welding shop. Okay, so we did good. Let me put the final on that. The final oomph. Awesome. Okay, let's get this off the stand. I can't test it today, I'm sorry. I apologize. We will not go jumping on the berm pile or go to Bent Creek off-roading, but we will. We will take this to Bent Creek on the next day, but I have a little time. we will take this. Let's check this. Oh, that's good and tight. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, someone here put the whammy on that. All right, so let's get this off the stand. It's basically done. Besides the testing. Take these clips off. Oh boy, scratched up my perfectly preserved frame. Okay, let's get it off the stand. Oh my goodness, this is a big moment. Man, this is nice. Look how even those cables are in the front. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think I could take an inch out of this housing. And this would go down a little bit. But then I would lose the adjustment here. If I wanted to go up that inch, I shouldn't go up. So I think I'm just going to let it ride right now. All right, let's get it off the stand. Oh dear. Not bad, folks. Not bad at all. A 1970 Schwinn collegiate sport that is no longer a sport because it does not have drop bars. Not bad, folks. Not bad. From a scrap pile to now. Oh, I so want to test this. I just don't have time today. I got to put the aluminum protectors on there. I think I have one in the front. That's original Schwinn. Yes, it's there. It's a little plastic one. I have to get 2 more aluminum protectors. And I think I have to get a star washer for that. And other than that, it's bike ride time, but I can't do it today. But anyway, let's get down to the nitty-gritty over here. You guys are going to love this. I know I'm supposed to finish the other bike, but hey, I did finish one bike. I did finish the collegiate. It is done. I will test it. The next video on that will be me having fun and holding the camera with one hand. All right, so let's carefully unpack this. This came from a guy on eBay called Billy_3123. And let's see how he did. He did a really good job packing it, by the way. I mean, this is above and beyond, man. This guy, this is probably better than I would pack a frame to send. I mean, this is... The man knows how to pack a bike. He wants no problem. The fork is in there, and that's the chain guard there. The man knows how to pack a bike. It's almost too good because there's a lot of zip ties on here. But let's cut these zip ties off in a way that I can reuse them. Like, if I cut this one, I can reuse that. And if I cut this off and sacrifice that one, that's a full zip tie to use. So yeah, you don't have to do that on every one, but if you're into bikes and cabling and you don't want to buy a bunch of these, whenever you have a chance, cut it in a way that you can reuse it. Like this one. This one's close there, so I'm going to cut it here. And then I'm going to sacrifice this one. And I guess I'll sacrifice that one. But I did get a full one out of it. That's a full zip tie. I mean, that's, 4 cents. And after a while, you just get tired of it. But, you can get some good zip ties for cables out of this. If you snip them right. And if you're really slick, you can reach in with a tiny screwdriver and undo this little clip and get each zip tie. But that's a bit more tedious than I want to do. I do want to save a few because they're nice to have. But see, now I'm getting to the point where I'm just like, get these out of here. I got stuff to do, right? Okay. All right. Get this off of here. Well, let's see if his description matches the packing. because he did such a great job on packing it. Man, I'm telling you, son. And he does, I guess it's a guy, could be a lady, Billy 3123. There is an opaque blue. He has an opaque blue curve bar Sprint, a really nice one from the 70s that has the curve bar seat tube, and that is available on his channel. And I was really eyeballing that. But this is, you know, when you sell a few bikes, you can justify buying more. But you know, it's, I really have enough bikes actually. I have plenty. All right, so yeah, the frame's a little chipped up, but it wasn't anything that happened during his shipping, that's for sure, because he did a great job. Man, it's taking a while to get this off. Okay, lots of zip ties I can deal with later. And this foam stuff's good to have too, in case you ship a frame. That's nice stuff. I can see right now that the frame is in pretty good shape. Oh yeah, and the graphics are strong. Oh yes, some strong graphics. Okay, I will definitely save all this rubber stuff for in case I ship a frame. Good stuff to have. You don't have to go buy it. All right, let's go put this on the stand right now and check it out, because this is beautiful. This is a 63 Traveler, and I'll tell you all the deets in a minute. I think we're just going to pop it right on there. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, we got some scarring up here. Yeah, the fancy emblem. You can see that it had the Starburst emblem on it because there's some adhesive. I have one, though. Look at the nice, strong graphics. That's a little chewed up. Someone had a rack on it at one time. This part isn't messed up. There's no major damage. Oh, it looks like he even threw in the chain guard bolt. That's nice. This is sweet. Races are in. And I believe that the races are on the fork. Seems like he included those. All right, I have not left him feedback yet. Because I wanted to see if the frame and fork were straight. I have no reason to believe they're not, because the way you pack this thing, they're probably A-okay. Graphics are strong, fork crown is present, lower race is present and not cracked. Let's wipe that off and take a look. That's the lower bearing. Top bearing is in there. Looks like he even tightened this up so nothing will be lost. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this, folks. Nothing wrong with this. Oh, mild scarring, you know, chipping. This is the year that doesn't have the fork locks. All right, we could put this in with fresh grease. I think we're going to hold off for now until I really clean these up and really inspect it. But it looks straight to me. When you sight down it, it looks straight. The frame looks straight. At this point, he's going to get good feedback because this is a nice frame and fork. And the coupe de resistance is the Traveler chain guard with the chrome top. You know, Traveler was top of the line, baby. You know, you can just get this apart without ruining it. Yeah, Traveler was top of the line for a 3-speed bike. We'll go through what you could get and when they went cheap, and when they were Schwinn approved, and when they went to the 10-speed model of the Traveler. They called it a Traveler 4. I don't know why, because, you know, Traveler was a Traveler until like 66. I don't know why they came up with the 4. Anyway, that's not bad, folks. That is not bad. I mean, it's a little scratched up. It's a little scrubbed up. I don't think anybody even cleaned this. Wow, that is nice. You know what? Let's just put this on real quick, because just to keep it not slamming around. And here's the flat washer I was talking about. A little flat star washer. Oh. Don't drop it. Don't drop that. Okay, let's just put this on real quick. We can clean it up later. I just don't want it banging around the shop. And then we can get the full idea what's going on. We'll have to take it off when we put the cranks in anyway. Screwdriver and we'll figure this out. Yeah, he included the bolts. It's just as described. I'll have to redo this rivet a little bit. I'll repound that. And maybe these two, I'm not sure. But just for now, to keep it safe, we'll just put it on here. I don't want it sitting around on the parts bin or laying on top of other things. I want it to be not scratched up. Okay, that's just kind of chucked on there, nothing whammy. But that's it, that's a 63 Traveler. And I did buy a fender also, not from that guy, from somebody else. I'll give you his, information too. Yeah. Yeah, this fender I bought, which is the correct one. It is the correct one for this year. I bought it from a person on eBay, and their handle is Ward Cleaver Mayfield on eBay, and it is the correct one for this bike. It has the sharp little edge. And that's where I'm going to leave this video, folks. I'll give you the complete history of the Traveler when I'm working on it in the next video. But I have some things to do. I just had a phone call, and I think I have some welding to do real quick. All right. As usual, have a great day. Faulkner Fixes All. Subscribe, like, whatever you got to do. 81.5% of you are not subscribed. Oh, man. Oh, I'm losing some sleep. Okay, have a good day. And we're back. Welcome to Faulkner Fixes All. Yeah, I just had to tell somebody that I'm not going to load up my truck with my portable welder and go fix their skip loader or whatever broke. Yeah. You know, I do fabrication, and sometimes I will go out to the field and fix stuff, but, you know, it's almost nighttime. I don't know what these people are talking about. And plus, this is my bike time, man. This is important. I can do it tomorrow or something. Anyway, yeah, let's put the forks in. I got fresh grease here. We got that all cleaned up. This top race isn't looking great, but I think the wear mark is even enough to just try and use. And we got these bearings all cleaned up. Got some fresh red grease in there. And we cleaned these up. We put that in like that, get it ready. And I filed that washer just a little bit to make sure it's clean and yummy. That flat spot there, you know, the little thing. The race fits on here pretty good. I cleaned the crown. We cleaned this bottom bearing. Let's put it together, shall we? And then we can put this fender on, although the fender needs a little work. Yeah, it's we're just gonna put it on temporarily to see how it looks. The stay is pretty mangled. You know, the stay has some issues. Yeah, and this rivet really needs a good pounding. But we're just going to throw it on there to see how it looks with the front brake. But let's put the fork on real quick, because we can. Yeah, because we can. So yeah, let's put this together. We got a little grease on the bottom here. Here's the bottom bearing. I just showed you how much was in there. And let's get you right. Guess you guys can see something, huh? Yeah, I'm not going to load up my welder and drive a half hour away and repair this broken tractor. Sometimes I do, but not at nighttime. I mean, it'd be night by the time I got there. That's the best time to do some welding, son. You can see. Okay, we're getting this top race on. I love this style. Okay, good. We'll wipe the rest of that grease right in the old tube. Let me get some of this off my hands. And here's the washer that I've already dressed up a little bit. Ran the file across that edge. Make sure it's happy. And let's put this on. We might even adjust it a little bit right now. It feels really good. I don't see a problem with this. Usually you can tell right away. This is an unknown frame to us, right? We don't know. Bought it from the guy on eBay. He was cool. He packed it really good. It's not in bad shape. There's a couple chips and rubs up there. There's a little paint loss back here where people had a rack. That always happens when you have a rack. It gets loose inevitably. It just does. A little rust mark there from water draining out of that tube. Probably stored outside for a little while. The 3-speed wheel is missing. That's okay. We got plenty of those. These are missing. Obviously, it's just a bare frame. See how they make that. There's the brake right there, the brake holder. And then that's the 3-speed wheel right there. Sometimes they did this on 5 speeds too. The cable would run on a thing and go to that wheel and then down to a 5-speed. But this usually is for 3 speeds. Yeah, nice little Traveler. It did have the Starburst emblem, which I have one. I'll show you in a minute. So yeah, let's put a semi-final tighten on that, and then we'll keep going and put the fender on, and we'll just kind of see how it's looking. You know, we're doing pretty good. This is going to be a really nice one, folks. Yeah, we'll just put a little oomph on this. That's too tight. That's too tight. That's too tight. That's about right. I can feel that top race. That top race is a bit compromised. I may change that out to a better one. I can feel it. The top race in the frame, it has wear, but you know, it's not enough to even concern about returning anything or sniveling or leaving bad feedback. It's fine. I'll change that race out in a minute. But for now, that's together. And let's throw a front brake on here with the fender. God, this fender's really bad. Well, we'll just put it on temporarily so you guys can see what a Traveler looks like in all its glory. It's pretty spectacular. Oh yeah. And so I'll show you the Starburst emblem. And where's that tag? I'll show you the emblem that really does go on this bike. You're going to love it. Oh yeah, this is fine. I mean, we'll have to repound that rivet for sure. Let me show you the emblem. And this bike definitely had it. You can see the adhesive right here. You can see the adhesive right here. This bike definitely had the Starburst emblem. And there it is in all its glory. It's going to look something like that. And this is going on this bike. I mean, why not? It's a black Schwinn Traveler with the chrome chain guard. And it did have one. I'll have to research what they used. I think it's just epoxy. And yeah, see the epoxy on the back of that. That's going to be sweet. All right, well, that's that. Let's chuck some bars in just for giggles. because if we put bars in it, then we can put some shop wheels on it and just set it off the stand. You know how I am. It's got to be able to get off the stand. And it's got to be able to get off the stand and not tip over. So if I put some bars in it and a seat post, I can take it off the stand and turn it upside down and just get it off the stand if I have to. So we'll just throw these old Suburbans in here. These came off of that girl's Collegiate. We don't care. This is just a shop set. This is not what's going on the bike. It's just going to be for, you know, taking it off the stand and tipping it upside down and getting it off the stand. Okay, did I say get it off the stand enough? Anyway, yeah, it's good. And while you guys are pondering that, I will tell you what the history of the Schwinn Traveler is. But you can kind of get the idea of what's going on here now. This is going to be a nice bike. I'll probably get rid of that. And I'll get the correct stem probably. This is a Suburban Collegiate stem. I don't know, it's not too bad. These might shine up a little better. This came off that brown girl's Collegiate that we parted out. And I think I will use these cranks also. Although that's the 5-speed ring. I think we're going to have to change that to a 1-speed because you don't have to, but this was a 3-speed bike. And we will use the back fender also, which is right there, even though it's not stainless. It is a Schwinn back fender in decent shape. So we've got the stainless front one. You know, that's sweet. I think they call that the heron beak or something. I don't know, they have a name for that razor edge there. I forget what they call it. Anyway, while you're pondering how beautiful this frame and everything is, I will give you the history. If I can find it. Give me a second. I can't find the little cheat sheet. Anyway, you could get starting in 1950, you could get a Schwinn Traveler like this, up to about 66 in black. And then after 66, they changed the colors. And then in about 1970, I think it was, man, I can't find my little sheet. Oh, is that it? No, that's not it. Oh yeah, that's it. Cool, I got my little cheat sheet. So, you could get the Schwinn Traveler from 1950 to 1988. But you could only get this style, the 3-speed, from 55 to 66 in black. And in 76 was the last year USA made. And it was just basically a warmed over Varsity. It was not a 3-speed. The 3-speed ended, I believe, in 66. You could not get the 3-speed. You could only get the 3-speed from 50 to 66. I believe in 1972 or so, they changed to the 10-speed. Let's see here. Yeah, I think it was 75 to 88 was the 10-speed. And 76 was the last year it was USA made. And then in 77 on, it was Schwinn approved, which is, you know where that was from, overseas. So those weren't real Travelers, and they called it the Traveler 4. I don't know why they skipped from this basic model to Traveler 4. There were only a couple of changes from the 3-speed to the 10-speed. So in my opinion, it should have been the Traveler 2. But hey, whatever, they called it the Traveler 4. In 53 and 54, you could get a 24-inch junior model with the 24-inch wheels, also in black. In 59, you could get a 2-speed kickback. And I believe you could get the 2-speed kickback all the way to 66. The colors did change. And 76 was the last year for the Schwinn Traveler that wasn't Schwinn approved, and it was a 10-speed. So womp, womp, womp. Yeah, in 1978, they called it the Traveler 4. And I think some of those years had front freewheel system. I can't really, I mean, I did scan the catalogs pretty heavily, but yeah, as for this chain guard and this 3-speed setup, 1950 to 1966. Then they changed it up. They actually stopped in 66, and they didn't start until 75. So they actually stopped making the 3-speed Traveler in 1966. And then in 1975, they started again, but it was a wumpty-wump 10-speed. It was just a warmed over Continental, nothing really exciting. And then in 76 was the last one made in America. And then from then on, it was like driving a GM Fiero or something. You know, you just didn't. It was a Schwinn Traveler, but it was made in Japan, and whatever. In my opinion, it's not a real Traveler. It's just a 10-speed. So that's the Skinny, and we have a back fender. It's up here. And I don't know if I can get it down. Let's see if I can get it down. Oh, yeah. Oh, it actually came off. Yeah. Okay, let's see if this is even going to be okay. It definitely needs some cleaning, folks. I didn't say it was not going to need cleaning. I did save the fasteners. If you watched the other video, I did save this fastener. That's kind of a special Schwinn one. Let's just see how it looks. Let's just see if it will even go in there without the re-drilling of the stays, which I have a feeling that since this other fender's off of a 70 collegiate girls bike, there's a good chance we're going to have to change where this is at. But let's play a little roulette here and just see where this is going to be at. If we're really, really lucky, and you guys have subscribed like you're supposed to, only 81.5% of you, 81.5% of you are watching these videos and not subscribing. You know, that's really making me bummed out, dude. Oh, we got lucky. Oh, man, we got lucky. Can you imagine that? Luck is with us. Yeah. Okay, let's just undo this real quick. And what we know, this is the wrong fastener. We're just chucking this on to see what it's going to look like. Okay. I'm just going to chuck it on. Just to see what's going on. Because we got to clean this fender. And I'm not going to clean it on the frame, obviously. We're just going to see what it looks like. I think I got a back brake too that can kind of hold it up. Yeah, here's a back brake with the world's chalkiest pads ever. Bring these to school and write on the chalkboard. Okay. Yeah. All right, we know we're going to clean this fender. We're just chucking this together to see if it's going to fit, and see if I have to change the stays, which at this point, it doesn't look like I'm going to have to change the stay, which is amazing because this back fender came off of a 1974 collegiate girls bike that was used for parts for none other than that bike that's right over there. We took it all apart for some of the parts. So yeah, this is going to be okay. The stay does not have to be re-drilled. If you can see right here, this hole is going to line up. That's okay. And this bracket doesn't even need to be switched around. So we got real lucky. All we got to do now is maybe bring this to Fred and have him dip it or something, pound some dents out. It's not stainless. It's not like the front one. But you know what? Once we shine that baby up It's going to be nice. We could just do a little cursory shine right now to see kind of what it looks like. I don't want to go too wild because this scratches the chrome pretty bad. Let's just go right up here where it's pretty obvious. And we'll just do a little. No, yeah, I don't see a problem with that. We'll bring this to Fred and have him dip it. Hear that, Fred? You got to work. I might drill these out and use different ones. There's what's left of the back reflector. Interesting. It's not the kind with a little flat washer fastener. Anyway, so that's what it's going to look like, and it's going to be nice. I don't have any wheels for it. Yeah. Yeah, just 5 frames off of eBay, and I have nothing. I might have a front wheel somewhere. Yeah, I don't have anything for it. And yeah, I don't know what we're going to do. We do have cranks off of that girl's collegiate. We do have these cranks. As for wheels, we don't have nothing. So this might be one of those bikes we just get some non-Schwinn wheels and get some white walls. Be nice to find some real wheels. Anyway, yeah, this is it, and this is the next project. We will finish the Schwinn Varsity with the down tube shifters. Do not worry, we did follow through on this though, and I think the next video will be me bonsaiing around on this, testing it, holding the camera with one hand as usual. But until then, hey, stay tuned. Until then, no, don't this. Until then, just keep the videos on. Yeah. Until then, yeah, have a good day, and all is well here in Faulkner Fixes All. And we are going on to the next project. I know I'm jumping around, but sometimes, you know, to do good things, you have to really just jump around and be creative. And no, I'm not loading up my welder at nighttime and going and welding on tractors. Sorry, not going to happen. But it's nighttime, you'll be able to see better. All right, have a good night. Peace to all.